So at the start of this year, I wanted to do YouTube to build an audience and retire my wife. I still want to do that, but a lot has happened this year. So coming into this year, I was doing media buying for e-commerce brands and partly also consulting. But I was realizing, along with a lot of other people, that media buying in itself was not getting results like it was in 2019, 2020. And in order to provide client results, you either had to become a content agency and start creating content, finding influencers, getting customers to create the content for you. You got to hire video editors to create a bunch of variations and things like that. Just skills I didn't have at the time. The skills I did have were copywriting and landing page design, landing page building. So I kind of started to go in that direction with advertorials, listicles. I was building landing pages, consulting on landing pages to get my clients results. And from that whole journey, I met this guy named Dylan Ander, and he was actually referred to me by another guy named Mason. And I had hired Mason to do some funnel builds for my clients in the past. So I knew Mason, I trusted Mason, and he introduced me to Dylan, and Dylan needed someone to run paid media and work on growth for some supplement brands that he was acquiring. So that was awesome. I was still working with other clients, working with Dylan, running Facebook ads, and we had another person running TikTok ads on the team, and then another person running email on the team. And so we would all meet every week and work on this account together. And through that, I started to build a friendship with Dylan. And so this was just one of his brands, right? Like a side project for Dylan. His main business is called splittesting.com. And with split testing, they do CRO. And I actually tried to have them do CRO for some of my paid media clients. And so we kind of had a relationship like that, like a working relationship, and it was awesome. And then towards the middle of 2022, I started to get bored with media buying, and I was looking at the next step or the next shift for me, and I was considering going the kind of ambassador route and helping brands build ambassador programs, because I saw that as a solution to the content problem. So if you want to have content for your brand, you either have to make it yourself, which a lot of brand owners don't have that skill, find an influencer to make content for you, which takes time and money. And then I saw a third path is teaching your customers how to make content so that you have UGC content from your actual customers, people who actually use the product. And I thought that would perform a lot better than this kind of polished UGC style. So I was going in that direction with my business. And Dylan had been trying to get me to work more with clients in the agency. And I considered it. We had talked about it, and so it was kind of on the table in the back of my mind. But then it was June, July, where they were looking for a copywriter, which is a skill I have, and I was only managing 3 clients at the time, so I had some extra time. And yeah, Dylan made the call. I interviewed with Nick on the team. And before I knew it, that same day, I was a part of split testing, which was amazing. Now looking back at it, I think it's been 6 months. So from that point in July, I stopped working with paid media clients. I only kept one project going, and I just started writing copy for these split testing clients. And then after about a month and a half, they asked me if I would be willing to kind of manage client accounts and be kind of client facing, which I was used to because it's what I've been doing for the past 3 years since 2019. and even a little bit before then at my first agency job. So I said, yeah, no problem. Like, I can do client facing, that's fine. I'd be open to it, you know. But, you know, the thing with like client facing, it's not always the best time, you know what I mean? But it's definitely an area where I'm growing a lot, and I enjoy it, especially with really awesome people. So it really has to do with the clients that the agency takes on, how hard that position is. And luckily, like, split testing clients are some of the best people in the world. So that worked out. So I started doing client facing stuff, which means I started learning CRO, like actual CRO, from geniuses who work at split testing, like 15 years experience, 25 years experience. There's a lot of experience, and basically got mentored this past 6 months, which has been amazing. So that's kind of where I'm at in my career journey right now, is working at split testing, really understanding how to come up with hypothesis, how to read data, how to audit an account, how to like find the story in the numbers, which I think is so cool. And I was going over some of the results that me and a team, my pod, have been able to produce, and it's just been crazy. Like, incremental revenue gains, like above 6 figures multiple times for some of these clients. And these clients that we work with, they're already established businesses, but they're still small to medium, mostly medium, doing 500,000 a month, $1 million a month, some way more than that. But yeah, I just feel super grateful and blessed for this time. And I want to still make some more kind of relaxed content like this, kind of sharing my story and my journey as I go. I want to talk more about CRO because I think it's something that people know is good and know that is powerful, but they don't really know how to do it properly and how to think about it. And so that's what I'm like putting together in my brain right now. And I want to like share frameworks and ways to make it easier to understand and like simple for any brand owner. Because before this, my main thing was working with people who haven't hit 7 figures in their business yet and getting them to $1,000, or not $100,000 a month. And I did that 8 times, and it was awesome because you feel like you really make an impact. And so I want to help similar people. Maybe they need to be a little bit further ahead, maybe like 50 to 60 grand a month, but help them understand CRO so that they can make all of their other acquisition and growth efforts better. Basically, that's what CRO like does at the core. It gives you like understandings and learnings about your users, and then it also, like in the process of that, you increase conversion rates at different steps in the customer journey, and you know exactly why it's happening, and you make hypothesis and you test it, and then you learn like every time, which I think is amazing. So yeah, that's the update. I want to start making more, like I said, videos on CRO and how to think about it. And I would love to talk to other CRO experts in the industry and just like jam on how they think about CRO, like what they recommend. And I want it to be more than just like best practices, because I see a lot of that currently. It's just like a spreadsheet with a bunch of best practices. But there's like, the trouble with that is it's not tailored to the businesses. It's not tailored to the businesses like customers specifically. So you have to be careful with it. Like, something that's impactful for one brand isn't going to be as impactful, or isn't going to win for another brand. Something that I'm learning, definitely working in the agency with a bunch of clients. But yeah, so I guess to wrap it up, if you want to learn about CRO and keep tabs on my journey, like definitely subscribe on YouTube is where I'll be posting the most. I'll be focusing like most of my efforts on little recap videos, little trainings, little breakthroughs that I have, and then try and just share share the knowledge in a way that's easy to understand and then easy to take action. And then I hope to also interview people like other developers, other CROs, other marketers, basically like practitioners of the craft, and then just share and collaborate with them. But yeah, if that sounds good, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.